Nikita season 4 episode 2 titled Dead or Alive. The first thing I want to note is that the first episode and this episode of this season are kind of titled after the Bon Jovi song Wanted, because the first one is called Wanted and this one is Dead or Alive. So if you don't know the song, just look up Wanted by Bon Jovi and you'll get, why that just randomly clicked in my head, because I really like that song, but it's a rock song. But this episode was great. I really loved it. Like, I loved last week's episode. I was excited that it was the premiere, sadly, for the final season. But it was a great first episode of the season, and this episode I thought was just much better. It had so much in it that was just really, really great. Like, first off, it gave us sort of the main plot device from Amanda, as far as what her real weapon has been this whole time. How she got the president, how she got the security agents, and other people to basically just kind of flip on a dime and just do crazy stuff, like the president killing herself. And we learned that it's because her working with the shop has given her the ability to basically take humans and just rework them into these, like, basically doppelgangers, so that they can replace the original people. And Amanda has control over very high ranking figures. And I didn't think about it while I was watching the episode, but thinking about it right now, the craziest thing about that is the fact that she had all of this control. She had the president, but all she wanted was Nikita. Like, this whole time, it was like she had America, like, in the palm of her hand, but all she really wanted was to basically just destroy Nikita, because they're just rivals. That's how they are. And this was a great episode that showed that, and I loved how things just ramped up. And it was like, Nikita had to, they had to play hardball. Amanda was going really crazy. She killed off people. They figured out that she has the clones, pretty much. They figured out the human trafficking was because they were working for Amanda in the shop, and they had all this technology to change faces and even change body parts. And with them having such power, Nikita and her group had to really step it up and do some crazy stuff. And so, they do the fake assassination to basically bring out this doppelganger who, like, I loved how they played that back and forth, where once they found out, Nikita called the office and basically ratted him out to everyone. And then Amanda's plan was, okay, if that's the case, then we're going to kill off your wife and have you get shot to make it seem like you're the victim. And she did that just to kind of instill doubt. And then this will obviously drive it home, like, hey, don't doubt me, fear her, because she's a murderer, and now she's killed my wife. And it was just a genius plan from Amanda, because that's who she is. And then once again, Nikita has to come back and the team has to work together to do this fake murder and draw out the doppelganger and kill him at the press conference. And things are wrapping up, and I'm like, this is really, really good. And then Amanda comes in, and they're about to kill the guy, and Amanda gets to Nikita and she says, hey, if you kill this guy, you will actually kill an innocent person, because we don't kill off the people we copy. We keep them pretty much for insurance. And it was just a great moment where they have this little back and forth, and Nikita is still Nikita, but Amanda at this point in the series doesn't really know that, because even though Nikita decides she's not going to kill this doppelganger to save the original guy, Michael takes control and he does kill him. And Amanda was so mad. She of course had her composure, but you could see it in her face when the director basically said, I hope she finds you. She paused and she was just looking at the TV, and she was just mad. She was furious, really. And she's like, I hope so too. And then she kills the guy. But after that scene, she says, I was really surprised that Nikita killed him. Maybe she really has changed. And it was just interesting, because she obviously didn't know Michael was the one who did it, and it wasn't Nikita, who is still Nikita, who won't kill someone in order to save an innocent person. But Amanda doesn't know that now, so it's gonna kind of change her dynamic, and it's gonna be great to see that. And I'm glad they have it, because with this being the final season and we only have 6 episodes, I don't know if anyone knew that, because I put it in the comments, because I didn't find out until after I watched last week's episode that this is only gonna have 6 episodes for the season. But I was glad it really ramped up like this so fast because we don't have a lot of time to ramp things up because there's not much to ramp up to in only 6 weeks. So it was an amazing episode. Back and forth, and then sort of the side story with Owen slash Sam. Alex has been captured at the end of this episode because Owen owes money to someone, and so he came in. He was kind of going against Alex because he wanted the device that she took off the traffickers, and then of course they get caught, and so they kind of team up. And Alex noticed that Owen is kind of becoming Owen again. He's less Sam, more Owen again. He's kind of had time to adjust and think, and even though he's still kind of off on his own with his money and trying to do certain things himself, he's kind of reverting back to being Owen and Team Nikita. So I'm excited to see definitely where that goes because they've all been separated. The team's kind of broken up into two parts with Nikita, Michael Burkoff, and Fletcher, and then you have Alex, Owen, and I can't think of the other girl's name. So the team's kind of split up at the moment, but now Alex has been captured, and they have to figure out how do we save her. And I'm sure Nikita and that side of the team won't really cross over too soon, maybe not until like episode 4. But I'm definitely curious to see who he owes money to, if he's gonna end up basically reverting back to Owen by the end of this season, or if it'll be Sam but just kind of get back on Team Nikita as well. It'll be great to see just how that plays out. But love this episode. Definitely excited for next week because of how this ended, where Burkoff is not Burkoff, and that's just gonna be great. Like it's just gonna be amazing to see, for one, how that happened, because it was obviously in between seasons. It's been 3 months, I believe, since the end of last season. So Amanda captured Burkoff somehow. I'm just excited to see what happens next week and how crazy things really get. But comment below, let me know what you guys saw in this episode. Favorite parts, least favorite parts, and I don't really know what question to ask for this because I'm just excited for next week's episode. But are you guys ready for Nikita to end? Like, obviously the answer to that would really be no, but do you think it's had a full run? I mean, even though it was cut short, that's why we have a shorter season. But do you guys think it did have a well done story? Because personally, even though it was cut short, I feel like this show has such great writers. It doesn't have that rushed feel to it where it's like, oh, they skipped over all of this and all of that. Because with the way last season ended, it could have easily gone in any direction. And even though I wish it went into a much grander direction where we had like a full season, I feel like the writers are going to do a great job for these last 6 episodes. But comment below, let me know what you guys think, and thanks for watching.